About that, guys. That cut off me a little short. So, if you haven't watched part one, please go watch part one before you watch this one, or else you won't understand what's going on. It is in my account. It's part one of Learning to Lose. So, continue where we were. I dove straight into alcohol. I drank every day, morning, afternoon, dinner. It was anytime I could get a bottle. I was scoring through my roommates slash ex's change to get a shooter, anything to just numb it, not think about it. And they offered me counseling at Blue Bench, in which I told my counselor, I said, I don't know what to do. I said, I'm drinking every day. I hear his favorite song in my head because he's been friends with our group for 5 years. How am I just supposed to get over that he did this to me? This isn't something you just get over. And so nobody could come up with an answer for me. Even myself, I couldn't come up with an answer of what would solve and make this better. And it was driving me nuts. It was literally driving me crazy at work. My work was mad at me. I was working for Walmart at the time. I had a crew of all women that were the managers of my floor. And not a single one of them had sympathy for me. They just said, oh, you're just letting it get to you. You're letting him win. Nobody was helpful. My parents are physically and mentally disabled, as well as my brother. So they were calling me with their issues, expecting me to just be okay again and be able to solve them. And I couldn't offer any advice. I was screaming at people. I was getting mad at people. I cut off every single, almost every single guy friend in my life, because I contacted and I reached out finally, and I was like, hey, I'm having these issues. I was raped. I don't know what to do. And all of them were like, well, we just don't know how to help you with that. Or you should just not talk about it. Okay. And so that is the proper way to deal with it, is to go to a counselor. And I realize that now after going through this journey, that is the proper way to deal with something like this. A counselor that is experienced with sexual assault is the only one that's probably, or a sexual assault survivor is going to be able to relate to what you're saying. But again, never been through this before, didn't know this. And I was so close. I mean, so close to giving up. I couldn't take it anymore. And I remember downloading TikTok and having so much fun with those first couple of videos. And I hadn't been on TikTok in a while after the court cases. I took a break. You saw me posting about my court cases and posting that we were, winning and things like that. But I didn't really want I didn't want sympathy or empathy. I wanted to get stronger and just be over this and done. And not drinking all the time and doing cocaine when friends would bring it over, because I just wanted to be numb. And then the worst part about it is, if you live in the ghetto, you get what you think is good cocaine, and it really is meth. And so then you have a meth kind of addiction going on, because, and I didn't. As soon as I realized that's what it was, I stopped doing it, for the record. But I was really close to just taking a handle and drowning myself and not coming back, because I was 80% of me die anyway. 80% of rape survivors die from their attackers, or die from somebody taking revenge, or they commit suicide. So I said, I'll just be another statistic. And I went on TikTok, and here was Patrick Ridge. I thought, who's this guy? And at first I couldn't stop staring at his pink hair, or red hair. And then his wife came in, and I was like, oh, she's fine as heck. Oh my God. I don't know anybody that looks like a little movie star good. Excuse me. I was really excited to learn who these people were. And so I started watching their videos. And the one video, I can't remember what it was. I tried to find it in my profile. It was a video where Pat was saying that recovery wasn't perfect and everybody's recovering from something. And it was all about accepting it, and that there's even a few of his videos where I've seen him say, it's okay if you don't believe in God or if you don't follow God heavily, you know, that it's about you and your connection with your faith and with life and the support. I'm trying so hard not to cry. I just remember putting the phone down and I ran to the bathroom and I took a green eyeliner, because green's always my favorite color, you know, stoner. And I wrote on the mirror, "This is just today," or something like that. And you need to just breathe. And I am worthy of love. I am worthy of life. I deserve to be happy. And the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so that I could breathe and look at the numbers and count. Like, that's how bad my anxiety was. So after I wrote that, I found out about learning to lose. And I indulged in kind of the fact that Patrick said it was okay if you were still drinking. And I should have taken that as my cue, but I'm still in dumb stage where I think I have, you know, a hold of my alcoholism. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just drinking a lot. And I'm just doing cocaine sometimes, you know, no big deal, right? No, that's not how it goes. And when I finally decided to get sober, I believe it was right before Tim went to Graceland. And that was a big inspiration, by the way, to see him actually, like, say he thought he had a problem and, like, go. And I have no personal opinion on it, by the way. But the fact that Patrick Ridge reached through a screen and was able to pull me up and just say, hey, it's okay. And then I saw Danielle's post and Rudy's post, and I'm like, well, this is a whole community. This is somebody who can save me, who can show me how to greet each day with a bit of gratitude instead of being angry and upset. And I literally put myself into an anger position where I got so pissed off about being upset and sad and crying. I said, they're right. He wins if I do this. He wins if I become an alcoholic. He wins if I die. He wins if I don't pick myself up. Like, Jared wins by me not surviving and actually surviving. And I felt like Patrick, through his videos, just looked at me through the screen and was like, you need to do something about this. You need to do something about this right now. And I was like, okay. And now here we are, you know, went through a pandemic that was supposed to be my year, where I got my life together and I got back on my feet, and I just spent it drunk, mostly. And here I am 4 months, beginning of my 4th month sober. I mean, when I think back on all the stories I have and all the times that I got messed up and I used excuse after excuse just to define that that's why I did it. And deep down, I'm sure that, you know, feeling of justification is still there and the good heart is still there, but the inspiration to keep going, because I know that was an excuse, it's gone. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to touch drugs or alcohol ever again. I don't. I don't like the idea of knowing what the hangover is. I don't like the idea of what it took to do them. I don't like the idea of how it makes you feel inside, the PTSD that now comes from it. And I said that to another person before, and they said, how do you know there's PTSD with doing drugs? Have you done drugs? It's like, no, even when I think about it being in the room, it's like, no, just go. Get it out. Don't want to mess with it. And so, with the ending of this video, if you've gotten through all the likes, ands, and I know everything else that comes out, and I'm so sorry that that's the way I talk. I also have a lisp I'm developing, if you can hear that. I would like to personally thank Patrick Ridge's program, and Danielle, and Mikey, and Wickham, and Rudy, and Veronica. I will always say Veronica looks good, by the way, just in case anybody's wondering, like, you can't come at my page with that. That woman's... damn. But all of those people have worked so hard to get sober. And they've put in the effort, and it's been hard and honest and rewarding. But I'll never forget, having Patrick Ridge enter my life, because if he hadn't, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be here, guys. I really don't. I think it would took a lot to see that. So, again, sorry for all the likes and the ands. This was the only way I knew how to tell this story. And I hope it got through okay. You probably have a million questions. Feel free to hit me up on TikTok, on here, comment, anything you like. And that is my story of how I learned to lose. Lost an old life, gained a new one with a fucking great group of friends. I love all of you. Graceland Ranch, folks, proud of you. Keep up the good work. And stop cooking onions, man. You're making me hungry. Every time I see that stove full of onions and meat, I'm drooling. Peace out, y'all.